To start off with, this is based off watching the first 6 episodes of the show. The series gets introduced with the "I must kill the guana creatures." We quickly discover that virtual reality exists, and it's the future, and the humans aren't doing so well. And later the people don't have to eat as much because they can photosynthesize?
光合成できないのは大変だな。そうやってこまめに食事を取らなきゃいけないんだから。
Also might be establishing clones. Oh man, there are a lot of identical sisters in this world. When there's like 10 of the same person, I don't even really understand how that's possible. But then we discover they are just sisters, and I'm like, oh wait, my theory is wrong. Oh okay then. Then even later on, it establishes differences between genders, and it establishes an example of wives' tales in their society. Well, a wife tale.
何これ?
触ったことが一度もない者同士が勝利を組むと事故が起きるってジンクスがあるんだ。
The characters that you see in the open do actually spoil the first few episodes, and it makes it clear who will survive and who will die. And it's just a matter of waiting for their inevitable deaths. This makes certain scenes painful to go through as you know what will happen. The song itself doesn't stand out that much since it's auto-tuned and modified so much, but it's somewhat catchy. The video itself just feels like quickly edited action scenes put together. It does the job, but it isn't memorable. The character breaks his fingers in the first few minutes, and then we see that he's gotten better, apart from a few bandages, and this establishes the future society even more. You suddenly get nude fan service, which I'm certain is due to trying to pull the viewer in, similar to the way Anohana did it, where, you know, Jintan was getting, like, poked and stuff. We are also introduced to the corrupt meeting of people that are corrupt. They have masks, so they must be bad guys, right? I also feel like this is an overplayed trope that makes characters evil just because we need to have another bad guy or another challenge. Also, straight after this, it's established that when you get old, you are essentially euthanized. The art looks a lot like the Naruto Storm PS3 games. I may imagine it's made in the same engine, but anti-aliasing is done to make it smoother. The animation can be rather stiff, with sharp, sudden motion tweens ending animations. This type of animation would make things easier to animate, as you can reuse the models to do various actions and not have to redraw every keyframe. The animation style that they've gone for is going to age really badly, similar to shows like Initial D, the 1998 version, and Appleseed 2004. It's quickly made apparent that the main character is different to the other people, as he has high scores in his virtual reality training, and he eats more than the others due to not being able to photosynthesize. It's also stated that the main character clearly absorbed memories and experiences from a prior pilot that we see dead in the first episode, and is therefore given a particular mecha to pilot. Though of course this is all speculation. I feel like this undermines him just being a good pilot on his own, but in the long run it doesn't matter. This almost feels like complimenting current humans, giving us a pat on the back because we are the original people. Well, not really, because of Homo sapiens and Homo erectus and all those things before, but that's another topic for itself. And it's probably also done to make it so that you relate to the character more. He's also the character we see the world through. He doesn't understand how their society works, and this is also via proxy we can discover the whole world. The character's personality is the typical shy main character that can get the job done when he is necessary, which of course makes a few girls fawn all over him. But they also make it so people don't like it since he is different and can't photosynthesize. Sidonia does do something a bit different with the main character. They make him both a high achiever and also the underdog at the same time. he's gracing at using certain machines, but others he barely knows how to use them. Of course, this doesn't last too long though, it's just in the introduction really. Interesting to note is there isn't a friendly male character in the show that quickly gets along with the main character. You can argue there's someone in the show that kind of applies, but really they're just a female character. There's also a rival character and a few other female characters that like him. The rival character is kind of underdeveloped, and all he's got is like, I am not the best, therefore I am angry kind of attitude. The eye catches on, not always memorable, but they do fit well with the theme of the show. Very early on, there's a jarring character that gets introduced in the first episode, but then you quickly get used to it, and so does the main character, actually. There's also some sciencey stuff later on in, like episode 5, 6-ish, where they're trying to basically filter some water. But basically all he does is he holds onto it and he shakes it, and eventually it just purifies, turns the substance into clear water, but it's never actually explained. It's just like, yes, I did it, and you're like, you did it in like 30 seconds. It doesn't really mean much. The action feels impactful and is pulled off well. The problem is every time action occurs, it's very obvious who will die and who will survive. So a lot of the impact of seeing a character that gets hit and you know is going to survive is lost, at least in what I've seen so far. There's also a build up for the deaths before they happen. It's a cliche at this point, where their backstory and character relationships are introduced, and then they will be killed by a iguana thing. Is that even how you pronounce that? Iguana? Makes me think of the animal. And the country. There's also the obligatory, oh no, I accidentally went into your locker room while you were changing scene. Oh noes, I'm going to land in your panties now. Well, that doesn't quite happen, but you get what I'm saying. There's also another trope, if that's what you'd call it, it's in a lot of sci-fi shows, and I don't really want to spoil it, but it's always to do with like aliens or facing creatures, and it's done in so many shows, and I'm really not looking forward to seeing this stupid shot reveal, and it will just make me facepalm. It's in many shows like Gargantia, and honestly I can't think of other ones right now because they always really annoy me. To a degree Evangelion does it, though it does it kind of well and not in the same way. I don't want to spoil what it is because I'm pretty sure I'm right, because honestly I think I've seen over 100 shows with this trope and I almost want to spoil it, but I'm not going to. The character interaction seems to be quite well done, but it doesn't really stand out well. It's the only real character interaction between most people is, just we are the evil people talking to each other, and then there's like the main character with the girls who pretty much treats them the same way, and nothing too out of the ordinary. And the rival character's like, I don't like you because you saved us, so yes, I don't like you because I should have saved us. There's also a mystery behind the main character, which is alluded to, but the problem is it's already been spoiled in the first 5 minutes. It's just the heroes don't know about it, and the corrupt people do, and it's like, I wonder if this is it. But like the show has already told us what's happened. Even it hasn't told us directly, but it's so obvious what it is. I mean, okay, it kind of did. It was like in the first 5 minutes. This is reiterating, but it said that he gets the powers from his that other person that helped him train. Was it his grandfather or something like that? There's also the character designs. They are simple, but my main complaint is that some of the characters' main difference is just their hairstyle and their hair colour. You can also tell because of the type of facial expressions they give out. One's like kind of happy and one's quite happy in a certain different regard. And also, speaking of colour, some of the characters are simply known as like Akai, which means red, and there's something with something like Midori something, and Midori means green. So, and she has green hair, so it's kind of I don't know. I wouldn't even call it a pun. It's just kind of like there. The closing of the show has a harder style music compared to the opening, and it's a lot more memorable, but the actual video of the ending is just Some rocks in space. Just, yeah, that's all it is. The preview is simply footage for the next episode with no dialogue apart from the next episode title. I almost feel like this episode preview is unnecessary and doesn't add much apart from appetizing some people to watch the next episode and should be skipped when marathoning the series.
星空
Near the ending of a certain episode, it's made clear that someone is going to die, but the last few minutes I didn't really predict, though there were some signs that it was going to happen. So I got a big sense of frustration for the events that occurred because it just occurred and nothing was really explained. It was almost like it was done, well, it was definitely done just for that shock value. And though it's not really done in other shows, and it is quite unique in that manner, I mostly just got a sense of frustration for like, well, I would have liked to have seen that. Despite all these problems, I have enjoyed watching this series so far, and would give it a recommendation. Also, it seems like if you have both genders, it doesn't matter which locker room you go in. Huh. Now I kind of wish I had both now.